subscribers. I am just, it doesn't even seem real. I really thought that I would be getting like maybe about 80 to 100 subscribers a month. So I thought maybe I'd be at 1,000 subscribers in like after 10 months of having my channel. But I started my channel in July, August. myself that it's so hard when you don't know what happened to them and you only have speculation. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff down here. I want to grab my notebook really quickly. Another case that is really haunting to me that I really want to know more about is the case of Barbara Ann Ripley. And it's not a very well-known case. I did cover it a couple, I don't know, like a month or so ago. I think it was before I got my Blue Yeti though, so I think it's lo-fi. But it's the case of the girl who went missing and then was found in a barn, like in a chest, and her death was ruled like hypothermia, but I don't believe that she would have crawled into that box on her own volition Simone, Leon Bridges, Reba McEntire, Jillian Welch, Baby Mother, Doja Cat, Styx, Natalie Merchant, Nico Case, Princess Nokia. I love Princess Nokia. SZA, absolutely love SZA, and The Weeknd. Some Pine Grove, Snail Mail, Priests, Feist. I love Feist. So that's just a couple of the artists that I listen to. And then I also listen to like popular hip hop, popular rap, things like that. So I hope that answers your question. Favorite childhood TV shows. Let's see. I wrote some of these down too. Because it's hard for me to keep it all in my head. Childhood TV shows. I loved like old school TV shows like Lassie and Flipper, and Mr. Ed. But then I also liked like Nickelodeon shows like Hey Dude, Flute Your Shorts, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Doug, Hey Arnold, like Recess, Pepper Ann. But I also, when I was really young, I used to watch this show called Mr. Wizard on Nickelodeon, and then on PBS I would watch a show called MathNet that I loved, and then Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, Sesame Street, obviously, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Gargoyles. Okay, I'm gonna stop with that now. So we also asked about some of my favorite movies, and I'm like such a total nerd that I have my favorite movies like written down in this notebook that I keep. Just like so I don't forget, because when people ask me like, oh, what's your favorite whatever, I'm like, I don't know. And then it sounds like I don't know anything, and so what did I study in college? So, God. I went to college in Massachusetts, and I thought I was going to study history, like American history or something. Well, and then I thought I wanted to study like Asian history or like Japanese history, Indian history. I was all over the place. So then I had to take a class, a language class. So I took an ancient Greek class because I thought it was cool, and I liked the way that the alphabet looked. And then I got hooked on it. I just like got totally hooked on it. I loved translating texts from the original to English and how different translations, like there's evidence for, or I'm sorry, so two people can translate the same text into totally different ways. That's what I'm trying to say. I found that fascinating. I always loved English, but I didn't know what I would do with an English degree. But then I decided to major in ancient Greek. What do you do with an ancient Greek degree? You become a dog walker. Just kidding. I ended up getting a master's in teaching English, so I double majored in English and classical languages. So yeah, that's what I studied in school. So, hey, Lay ASMR says, I love Q&As. My questions are, what was your first experience of ASMR? So, my first experience of ASMR, which I obviously didn't know that it was ASMR. Sorry, take a little sip. I was like at a sleepover at my friend's house, and I was like pretty much dozing off, but it was hard for me to sleep at sleepovers. And I heard my two friends just like whispering to each other back and forth, and like that sound to me, just the whispering, not the actual words, but the popping of the sound, like the different consonant sounds, really kind of relaxed me, put me to sleep, made me feel good, made me feel safe. So from there, like a lot of people, reporters on NPR have like this very calming voice where you can still hear the popping of their consonants. I was on the train in Boston, and these two women were speaking either like Korean or Vietnamese, or I'm not sure, it might have been Mandarin, I don't know. But I was listening to them whisper, and I fell asleep, and then totally missed my stop. I was like 2 or 3 stops beyond where I should have been. So then, like 5 or 6 years later, I started to watch like makeup tutorials, just regular makeup tutorials, and I realized that they would put me to sleep. I would like start watching them, and I'd feel relaxed, and then I'd go to sleep. So I was watching those, and then one day, I like came across a Facebook live feed of someone selling pearls, you know, those. I'm like, I've got this pearl that I found in this oyster. Look at this. Okay, who's gonna buy it? And I was so I just decided to try it, and I'm glad that I did because you guys have been amazing to me, and I'm happy to like help as much as I can with you relaxing and going to sleep and all of that. So my favorite trigger is like soft whispering, like kind of clicky whispers, the way that Rage ASMR does. And also, Lynn Cinnamon has become one of my favorite ASMRtists. So whispering, I guess like whispering, but I don't like whispering that's like like harsh, like you're almost whisper yelling, if you know what I mean, where you can hear from like the throat. I like it where you can just kind of hear the noises that your tongue and your lips make. And then I love tapping and whispering. I do like some kind of personal attention, and I love like get ready with me makeup tutorial stuff. Do your friends and family know about your channel? They know about it. So my friends, I was like, okay, I'll give you the link when I hit 100 subscribers. And they've been very supportive. They don't think I'm a weirdo. I don't think. My family, I'll literally never give them the link because I don't think that they'll ever really understand. And they all have severe misophonia. So I think hearing me talk like this might drive them insane. My parents, though, are very curious about it, and they're always asking me, like, oh, how's it going with your... My dad calls it my morning show. He's like, how's it going with your morning show? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's very sweet. They're very supportive. Father French asks, what is your star sign? My star sign is Gemini. And yes, I am crazy. I have two sides. I can be outgoing, funny, kind of snarky, and then I can be like very quiet, very reserved. So yeah, I really, Gemini kind of resonates with me very much. I hope you guys care about this. Whatever, I'm just rambling, that's fine. Amy B, who has been a supporter of mine for a long time, and she's always commenting, which I love. Jen with one N, also super supportive. Baron of Belko, 100% supportive, awesome. Was there a case that first got you interested in true crime? What was it? It's hard to think back because I got interested in true crime kind of through my mother, because my mom was always watching Forensic Files. So I don't remember a specific case, but I remember watching Forensic Files, Unsolved Mysteries, and there's one other show, Cold Case Files and Cold Case Files. Those three shows I watched like all the time with my boyfriend at the time and with my mom when I was like a teenager. But I guess like the O.J. Simpson case was going on when I was in like middle school or high school, so I found everyone was like obsessed with that case. So I found that to be very intriguing. JonBenet Ramsey, when that happened. And then, you know, my true crime, not obsession, but interest kind of started to rekindle when I started listening to My Favorite Murder. Those ladies just are so sweet, and I loved to listen to them and their kind of friendship, and then it was nice. So like I was going through a hard time in my life, and I had them to listen to and kind of feel like I was friends with. And then I also like started listening to Serial. was researching. But I think that the case that affected me the most, like emotionally, was the Khalif Barber case, in which Khalif was arrested for stealing a backpack that he didn't steal, and then ended up in Rikers, and then ended up in solitary confinement. And then when he finally got out after like 3 years, he killed himself. And that is a complete failure on our justice system, and totally just exposes the racist, disgusting underbelly of our justice system. And the fact that he never got justice and his family never got justice sickens me. I was watching that documentary on Netflix and I was literally like bawling the whole time. So I guess those two cases have had the most effect on me. Only a couple more. So Rory M says, who are your favorite ASMRtists and your best triggers? I talked about my triggers already. And I talked about which case stuck with me the most, but my favorite ASMRtist, I'm just gonna list them off. So obviously Karuna Satori, she got me into ASMR. Obviously GB, she is a freaking legend. I really like Ice Blue ASMR. I like Bedtime ASMR, he's fairly new. Let's see, I'm kind of just looking through my subscriptions. ASMR Today, which is DWODAE. This one is not ASMR, but I love watching this woman do mathematics. I'm terrible at math, but she does like algebra and algebra 2 problems. Her name is Yang Haiying. I'll put this stuff in the description. Library of Whispers ASMR. Literally, I love her. Every time I see that she posts, I'm like, oh, thank God. I love, so there are some true crime, not podcasts, but YouTube channels. I don't watch a lot of true crime anymore because I like research it, so I feel like I'm always in it, so I'm trying to like get out of it. But Geekware's ASMR. There's this new channel called Untold Bizarre True Crime. It is not ASMR, but she does a good job and she's just starting out. The ASMR Gamer, I like Regan ASMR. She's like very upfront and like tells it how it is, and I think she's hilarious. Goodnight Moon, of course. Maddie ASMR. Southern ASMR Sounds is like one of my favorites. I love it when she shows her jewelry. ASMR Kitty, I love. Mia ASMR is amazing. Okay, I'll just do like 2 more. Oh, Maddie Dove ASMR, she's awesome. She just did a nighttime skincare routine video that put me to sleep like 4 times, so that was amazing. ASMR Planet, I absolutely love. She's hilarious. She just did an ASMR video, makeup on Baby Yoda, that is just an absolute masterpiece, and I can't stress that enough. Prim ASMR, of course. Rapunzel ASMR. Lynn Cinnamon ASMR. I love Lynn Cinnamon ASMR. She has this amazing aesthetic. I can't get over it. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of people, but I don't know how to pronounce this one, but it's PPU ASMR. I think she's Korean and she just has the best whispers. Familiar Sounds ASMR is just starting out, but she's awesome. There's one specific ASMR artist. Oh, of course, Rach ASMR. that she subscribed to my channel, and I almost died. She's so amazing. She's like got the sweetest energy, and she's a mom, and she works, and she does amazing ASMR, and she's so gracious and kind and warm, and I just love her. Okay, anyway. So I just poured the last of this delicious beer in here. And my memory card is running out, I guess. So I have like 5 minutes left. I've been rambling so much. I just am like really excited, you guys, okay? Sorry. So Paula Lamont, who has been a huge supporter of my channel for a long time, says, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And when she asked me that question, I had a mini panic attack. I was like, oh my god, because the whole pandemic situation has been making me think only about a couple days ahead. I just am trying to like understand and survive my new reality for right now, my new environment, my new routine. Though I went from being like a student who worked in the hospitality industry to being, I was a customer service agent for Verizon Wireless, which was the worst job I've ever had. And then I went to school, back to school to be a teacher, so I was a teacher, and then I went back to the hospitality industry, became like a server, and then a general manager, and then a line cook, which I loved, but it was too little money and too much work, like not work, but too hard on my body. And now I'm walking dogs and tutoring and making YouTube videos, and I really love working for myself and not having a boss. I do art too on the side. I haven't had a lot of time for it recently, which breaks my heart, but in 5 years I would like to have a solid partner, like romantic partner, husband, boyfriend, whatever. Just somebody that I can go through the trials and tribulations of life with. I would like to have some kind of home, maybe one that I own. That would be great. I'd like to continue to work for myself. I don't really want a traditional job ever again, unless like I'm my own boss. So I really love dog walking, but I know that it's not really sustainable. So I'd like to get into like freelance graphic design and tutoring, maybe. I'd love to continue living on the West Coast, but my family is all from the East Coast, so depending on where they all end up is where I'll end up. So, long story short, Paula, I am not very sure where I'll be in 5 years. I'll be almost 40 years old. So I'd at least like to have like a life partner, you know, and then we'll see where things go from there. I'm kind of a free-flowing spirit. I've traveled all around and lived all over the place. I guess it'd be nice to settle down at some point. Okay, thank you guys for listening to my rambles, drinking some beer with me. I really appreciate all of your support and love and kindness.